and we know them and how they affect you. Every Monday through to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. This will be your most authentic news experience starting now. 9.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's the nation's number one talk news and sports radio station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. 8 minutes gone past the 3 o'clock hour, officially welcoming you to Hard Facts. This will be your most authentic news experience, and you can take that to the bank. Welcome to the show. If you're watching us, we're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM 99.3. You can download our mobile application. That way you can take us everywhere you go. You will not need a radio to listen to us. Well, my name is Maryann Okon. Welcome to a brand new week of very interesting conversations. Top of it, protests. And of course, so many people have a say as to whether the protest should hold or not, and who they think is behind the protest. This is the part that really amuses me in all of this, is who they think and how it changes per second. Welcome to the show, Lagos. As usual, we start off with the big three on the 3 o'clock hour. We'll look at the big stories from the weekend into the brand new week. And you know, the protest has been a story or a conversation that's gone on all through the week, last week into the weekend. And of course, more and more stories, developments coming from the protest, or the planned protest, I'd rather put it that way. And of course, on the 4 o'clock hour on Community U Reports, we'll still be talking about things that are happening in our society, in our communities, that might one way or the other lead up to this protest, make people want to protest or not. We'll be talking about that. And then, of course, on the 5 o'clock hour, I'll have the National Publicity Director for the Northern Coalition of Northern Groups. He'll be joining us on the 5 o'clock hour from Abuja to talk about the state of insecurity in the Northwest, especially in Zamfara State, and what the synergy is between the federal government and state government, and if Northern youths, especially the ones that have not pulled out yet, might be even in a position to protest. Welcome to the show. Shall we go into the big stories for the weekend, into the brand new week? Ms. Maryann Okon, welcome to Hard Facts.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the Big Three Stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
All right, let's go into the big stories for the weekend, into the big new week. Yes, this is going to be a very eventful week. Whichever way it turns out, it will be a very eventful week because the story is so many angles, so many things, and different perspectives. And of course, most importantly, I was listening to Joyce and the fuel queues. The driver that dropped me today said that he was at NNPC early enough to get his fuel, but he bought it at the normal price, which is not bad. But then he complained about how bad the situation of things are. So not any one of us is left out of it, except maybe you are in power and then you are able to touch a few good things. But if you're not benefiting from those in power, are you protesting? Well, let's look at the big stories. From the Punch newspaper, top story here says, hardship protests. UK, US, Canada issue security alerts. Traders also are afraid of looting. Well, the United States and the United Kingdom and Canada have raised alarm over the likelihood of violence during the planned August 1 protest, end bad governance protest in the country. The three countries, in separate travel alerts, cautioned their nationals in Nigeria to avoid getting caught in the confrontation that might occur with security agencies and protesters, citing past incidences. The advisories come as apprehensive marketers in market leaders in Abuja, Sokoto, Kano, Katsina, Ogun, Oshun, Zamfara, Gombe, and other parts of the country request strong security around markets during these rallies. Also, in preparation for the demonstration, the police authorities have recalled all personnel on non-essential duties. So, I'm guessing that's what the average person wants: protect the protesters, and also keep an eye on those who might want to come and cause rancor. Okay? All right, still talking about this issue of nationwide protests. The Guardian newspaper here says, Boko Haram plans to infiltrate nationwide protests, says police. Isn't that interesting? Well, let's get into the details of that particular story. The police command in Yobe says Boko Haram insurgents have planned to infiltrate the planned nationwide protest in the state. I'm so sorry. On a lighter note, Boko Haram said one protest. Well, the spokesperson of the command, DSP Dungus Abdul Karim, stated this in a statement in Yobe. He said intelligence received by the command indicated that foreign mercenaries were engaged in this to destroy lives and property at the protest. Abdul Karim therefore called on individuals planning to participate in the protest to exercise caution. He says, and I quote, as Yobe State recovers from insurgency, the Commissioner of Police, CP Garba Ahmed, acknowledges citizens' constitutional rights to peaceful assembly. While we alert citizens to sinister motives, even peaceful protesters at this time may be ill-timed. Recent insurgency activities in Gujba local government area, including improvised explosive devices, have raised concerns. We are unprepared to face additional security challenges. The police is saying, we're overwhelmed. If you protest, you are causing more problems for us. And we don't need these problems. We cannot help you if you're protesting on your own. Well, he said, we're unprepared to face additional security challenges. He warned that criminals trying to hide under the protest to destabilize the state would face the wrath of the law. And that's from Yobe State. Still talking protests. Now the FCT minister has joined the chat room, shall we? Well, Minister Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, is mobilizing Abuja youth and stakeholders against joining the planned August 1 to 10th nationwide protest over hunger and hardship. Now, speaking during a ministerial engagement in the FCT with youth from Abuja South Federal Constituency in Kwali Area Council of the FCT on Sunday, Wike said, and I quote, youth and other stakeholders in Buhari and Gwagwalada area councils will also engage in the same issue in the coming days. The news agency of Nigeria reports that a similar interaction was held with stakeholders in Abuja municipal area in Abuja on Saturday. The minister explained that the interaction was to enlighten them on the ills of the protest and why they should not be part of it. He thanked the traditional rulers and the area council chairman for mobilizing FCT youths for the interaction to enlighten them against joining a protest they do not have a stake in. He said there is no need for a protest. The current administration is barely 1 year in office and not enough to assess its performance. You can't judge leadership within 1 year. I have not been in office up to 1 year, but I have done so much that should be appreciated and convince people that the FCT is working. Maybe the FCT is working. But is there food on the table of people in the FCT? Are they not feeling the hardship because you think that you've done something in the FCT? Should they not protest because you think you've done something in 1 year? I'm just asking, Minister Wike. And then finally, something away from the protest, something political. Well, for those of you who've been following, Kenneth Okonkwo, the movie star, lawyer, and of course, ardent follower of former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, had put out a statement, saying that he's been somewhat, let me rephrase, weak, especially dealing with the issues that have been rocking the Labour Party. But this was Peter Obi's response to him. He says, Kenneth Okonkwo remains my trusted ally. Yes. After, several people had gone to attack Kenneth Okonkwo on social media, he emphasized that Kenneth Okonkwo's loyalty and commitment, he described it, him, as a beloved brother and a trusted ally. He encouraged for constructive dialogue and respect. Even in disagreement, he urged the party members to remain united. He stressed that learning and listening are crucial components of leadership and that he values diverse opinions. So there are a lot of people who are on to Kenneth's social media to bombard him, and he's saying desist from it because he and I will continuously be friends, even though we disagree on the problems that are rocking the party. He's saying desist. And this is one of the problems I have with people who are very quick to jump on things and shout at the other person when you do not even necessarily understand the dynamics of the relationship between two politicians. But we're always very quick to take sides. Anyway, Lagos, phone lines are open. Let's talk. We're all talking about protests today, and of course a little bit of internal party politics with the Labour Party. But most importantly, I'm asking some of these questions. What's the guarantee that these protests that we are planning will not be hijacked, by unscrupulous elements? Is the police using fear to stop the protests, or is there some truth to the fact that Boko Haram themselves won't join the protest? And what are your thoughts on Wike's anti-protest group? I mean, we've seen a couple in Lagos, who are protesting. Help me make sense of the fact that people who say do not protest are protesting. How does that work? So you're protesting, but you're saying do not protest. We say no to protest, but you're also protesting. Isn't that funny? And then, of course, what do you think about Peter Obi's response to Kenneth Okonkwo? The phone lines are open, 0201-277-0993 if you are a man, 0201-465-7190 if you are a lady. And, of course, on WhatsApp, you can join the conversation, 0809597585. Join the conversation. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. If you are listening to us from outside of the country, join us via Skype. We are Nigeria Info FM. 60 seconds is all you have. Go straight to the point and make your thoughts known. Go ahead. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
This is Madam Lucky calling from Ibeji.
Madam Lucky, go ahead, please.
Okay, what I want to say is that about the protest that is coming is what I want to talk about. You see that even me, I am a member of the party. I work for this president. Initially, maybe you've not heard this name before. I'm one of your silent listeners, but I don't call because I felt that people are just trying to attack the president. But recently, I discovered that the president was not on our side. So what I will say quickly is that the protest mainly, as I'm seeing it, is going to take place mainly in the north and the south. And those people there, I know them because I've worked in that place for 20 years in the oil industry. They are not afraid of bullets. You can ask anybody that have worked in Shell. They will tell you. They don't fear bullets in that side. Not like Lagos. But I see that the attention of the police and the president is in Lagos. And my surprise is that even the guys that I use my money to subsidize their feeding here, this is the Gillette here, automatically they are changing their voice, supporting their brothers. It doesn't work that way.
All right.
It doesn't work that way.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very much for calling. Sebastian is calling us from Benue State. Hello, Sebastian.
Hello.
Yes.
I want to talk about the protest.
Go ahead.
Anybody that wants to protest must join the protest, whether Boko Haram, whether any group of terrorists. What we want.
Why should Boko Haram join the protest?
We want the protest. We want it to go where? Because
but Boko Haram is a terrorist organization that's capable of causing mayhem. That's capable of detonating an IED while you're protesting against hunger and hardship.
Let me tell you something. It's our politicians that invited this insecurity in this country today. We farmers, we cannot able to go to farm. No hope for we common man in this country again. Some of us, we don't have jobs. We are managing in farming. But you cannot able to go back to farm again. So what do you want us to do? They destroy everything in this country. They depend for their family. We don't have anything in this country, no hope for us. You call a Benue State here. It's then that they are rich, they continue to be rich. Family that they are poor, they continue to be poor. If not this our governor now that he came to power, what will happen in Benue State here for different? People for that hungry here because Those
Okay.
of them where you know they cannot able to pay pension, even though this man. What we for first in Benue State here, it will be different.
All right.
So,
Thank you, Sebastian, for
yes,
calling.
want to
I
say
need to
that
let you go
yes,
because of
that
time,
protest
Sebastian.
should- protest should continue for 1 month.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 60 seconds is all the time that I have, and I've got to go on a break quickly, but I'll take another call. And when we come back from the break, it's 60 seconds. I know everybody wants to talk. There's time. There's time for everybody to talk, but 60 seconds. Christian is calling us from Ijigbo. Hello, Christian.
Hello, Maryann.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Christian. How are you?
Engineer Christian, fine, I'm cool. Engineer Christian,
Go ahead.
Maryann, yeah, the police that are threatening the protesters are the same police that told us that they have known who the hoodlums who want to hijack the protest are. The question I want to ask, why can't the police go after those hoodlums and get them arrested? And now protect
That's if they know them, right? That's if they know them. Why do they not go after them?
They said they know them. They told us that they've known them. Even the DSS told us that they've known them. So what stopped them from going after them, pick them out, and guide and protect us, we the peaceful protesters? Another question I want to ask, had Buhari and Tinubu been shot during the last 2012 protest they held, would they have become president of Nigeria?
Okay.
Would they?
All right, Christian, I have to let you
They
go.
have been shot.
Yeah, big question, but thank you very much for calling. I'm letting you go because of time. It's not because of the question that you asked. We have to go on a break, Lagos. When we come back, it's still the big weekend. Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. If you're watching us live on YouTube or Nigeria Info FM, you're listening to us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We'll be right back after this message. I'm Maryann Okon. The program is Hard Facts.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this. The Impact Debate Tournament, the Nationals, is coming. August 12th in Lagos. Witness the brightest minds from across the country in a battle of intellect and eloquence.
Have you ever wondered if controlling resources will be the key to dismantling?
Yes, a child has not been properly academically satisfied.
Has such person not also get experience, like your fifth point?
Experience fierce competition.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It's not because there's natural resources there.
Persuasive arguments.
I believe that through a balanced approach to religion and education.
Don't you think that such a person is old enough to decide?
And innovative thinking.
By 1985, the poverty level was below 46%.
If they don't have money for tuition, are you saying they are not going to be accountable?
Whether you're a debater or a spectator, mark your calendars for August 12, 2024. I beg to differ. The Nationals in Lagos, Nigeria. Get ready to be part of history. For sponsorship and other inquiries, call Lagos Larry Griffin 0706 827 1163, Shola Kolade 0907 173 3835, or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I beg to differ students debates competition, the tournament of champions.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
And yes, we are back. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Atimi and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. We're the nation's number one talk news and sports radio station. And all we do is let you talk. So you are opportune to chime in and let us know what your 2 cents is about this whole protest and the way that the government is going about it. Religious organizations are going about it. I hear that and some of the religious leaders are trying to dissuade protesters to shelve this plan to protest. What are your thoughts? Are you really interested in the protest? And if you're not, please, I want to hear from both sides of the divide. And really, has any of this, conversation or messaging coming from government and other bodies somewhat made you more interested in the protest? The fact that there's some level of fear mongering from the police, from the DSS, the army, or maybe for some religious leaders who are saying, well, it's not. Has it made you even become more interested, or has it dissuaded you and you're like, what, there's no need, let me just, it's Nigeria? But here's some messaging. I've got some messaging here from Nasarawa State Governor. I've got some messaging from Kaduna State Governor, and of course some youths in Adamawa. And this is what they had to say about the protests. Well, the governors on the one hand are saying, please don't be part of the protest. And then some groups are saying, well, we will not participate because we don't think that this is necessary. But let's start with Abdullahi Sule, who is the governor of Nasarawa State. Take a listen.
An appeal to all of you, especially our youth and labor organizations, to shelve the idea of this protest in Nasarawa State. In addition, to appeal to our security agencies, to be ready to work with people.
Well, that's Governor Sule of Adamawa State. By the way, these videos are courtesy of Channels Television. This is now the governor of Kaduna State.
Continue to collaborate and dialogue with the government and stay away from any act that can destabilize the peace and progress of our state. That is my call to all the students sitting here. And I can see the students sitting here. I have no doubt in my mind. When coming into this very important hall, I've seen placards, no protest, no coming dialogue.
So he's saying, that's Ubasani of Kaduna State, saying that he's glad that he's seen some young people there saying no to the protest, and he's appealing to others to shelve the protest. But here are a group of young people in Adamawa State speaking on the protest.
We start you to announce the withdrawal of our planned peaceful protest. This decision was made after careful consideration of numerous advisories from individuals, various groups, security agencies, and stakeholders. We urge the federal government of Nigeria to take prompt and decisive action to address the following critical national issues.
Okay. Well, he's talking about issues. So there you have it. Governors of Kaduna State, Adamawa State, Kaduna State and Nasarawa State, they're urging people not to get involved in the process. And then, of course, a coalition of youth groups in Adamawa State have come out to say that they'd rather not be part of the protest. Where does this leave you, who's bent on going on that protest? And are you really bent on it? Or you're just one of those who will just sit on your couch on that day and not be bothered? And how do you intend to protest? Must you go to where everybody's protesting, or are you protesting on your street? Are you going to protest in your local community? What exactly are you going to do? Well, let's talk. The phone lines are open. 60 seconds is all you have. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Finally. Hi, Maryann.
Good afternoon, Mr. Boli. Go ahead, please.
How was your weekend, Joe?
Great.
All right. So, by the grace of God, this protest, wherever it is I'm protesting from, I'll be reporting live to you when the time comes on that first. Moving forward, those who are saying we should not protest and they have nothing to bring to the table should just leave the people that want to generally go and protest. To do what? To protest. I'm also happy you said Boko Haram wants to join this protest, and I'll explain why.
I didn't say it. It's the police. It's not me.
Beautiful. Maryann, what I'm saying, it is welcome. It is a welcome idea.
Why is it welcome? They're a terrorist organization. They might come and blow you up.
The reason is this, Maryann, calm down. Boko Haram is coming, Abi.
It's also an advantage. Also be alert and catch them in their trade. If our security operatives are proactive, more than reactive, Maryann, they shouldn't be coming to say, let them come with all their gadgets and come and nip Boko Haram in the bud.
Okay.
That is the only thing.
All right,
so
Mr.
now you can
Bully.
see why I said it is a welcome development. But
All right.
everybody is welcome.
All right, all right.
Everybody is welcome.
All right.
But they should all be nipped in the bud.
Thank you very much for calling. Yobe State Police Command is saying they're all stretched out. We can't even afford to have another security challenge. And you're saying, come on. Hey, are you joking? Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Hello, anybody home? Hello, welcome to Hard Fact.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Pastor Ladipo.
Go ahead, please.
Maryann, I'm calling from Orilego.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I want to ask is this. Why all these threats? Why? Including traditional rulers. You see, Maryann, this situation that is going on now caused me to go and study about Adolf Hitler. How he assumed power, how he was able to sway the people with his oratory, and eventually won a lot of people to his side. At the end, we saw what came out of it. We must be very careful. People are complaining that these are expensive. All these people that are coming out disassociating themselves, are they recommending them to a special market where they will buy lower commodities at lower price? Allow people that says they want to air their grievances without even... Now, the government and everybody is insinuating it's going to be bloody. But some people protested in Abuja. It was not bloody. So the minister now can mobilize people. What does it cost to mobilize those people?
Okay. Pastor Ladipo, your 60 seconds is over. Thank you very much. Rapper Chuku calling us from Alimosho. Just so you know, if you're watching us live on YouTube, we've got pictures coming from Borno State, from Bayelsa State. Mostly women, actually, and with banners saying, say no to protests. And, of course, with the estates at the bottom. Of course, we also hear that there is an anti-protest going on in Lagos State. And we've seen pictures also. But I think I've seen something also on my YouTube live. I'm going to read it out after I take Rapper Chuku's call. Hello.
Hi, Maryann.
Good afternoon, Rapper Chuku. Why do you sound like you're inside a drum?
Oh, sorry. It's my, they bad my line and use another network.
Aha, okay. Go ahead.
It's all right. So manage it. Yeah, with you. So you see, well, for the protest, it's a good one. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
It's a good one. We are demanding for our, for good governance. But the governance is too bad. People are passing on told hardship.
Rapper Chuku, are you going out to protest? That's the big question. Are you joining the protest?
You say, I can't hear you.
Are you joining the protest? That's the bigger question.
Of course. I'm going to join the protest.
Okay.
Let's air our points, air our feelings.
Okay. All right.
We can sit down and pretend everything is well while
Okay.
we are achieving ourselves.
Okay. All right.
So we have to go out and protest.
Okay.
That is the peaceful protesting, not violence. Everybody who's the enemy of this is planning for violence.
Okay.
We are not for violence. We are for peace.
All right, Rapper Chuku, I have to go. Your 60 seconds is over. I'm being joined by the head of news, Ufoma Igbamuno. He's right here in the studio. I dragged him into the studio. There's so many theories that are out there. In fact, your mouth is full. I'm sure if you open your mouth, one theory will fall out. 1 minute we're seeing panic buying. I tell you what, on Saturday, a certain supermarket was filled with people. You could see people were panic buying because they were not sure what was going to happen this week. And then we started seeing the field queues. And then today we're seeing the NIN drama. And of course, the police is saying that Boko Haram may join the protest. Is Boko Haram also hungry? And we're seeing also a group of women, mostly women who, with banners in Bayelsa, in Borno. We're seeing young people in Adamawa State, governors. are these people helping us to be more interested in the protest, or are they trying to douse tension?
The people with the banners, what are they doing? They are.
So
I've seen the pictures, but
they are unprotesting protests.
I'm telling myself not to believe it. But
I really don't understand what that means.
So, Maryann, to be honest, Nigeria team always get K-leg. I'm sorry. Good evening, by the way. Good evening, Lagos. Or is it good? It's still good afternoon. Okay. I thought I was on my. I thought I was on my show already at 6:15.
Don't be in a hurry.
It's quite sad that almost everything in this country always has a way of getting into a tribal narrative, a religious narrative, or a political narrative. And I long and yearn for the time when we as Nigerians will be able to realize and see that the politicians, all of them, and I'm not exempting anyone, all of them, both those in opposition and those ruling, okay, maybe all of them might be a stretch. 99.9% of them, let me put it that way, always, they know that using these tools will divide us, and they go with the divide and rule tactics. It always works.
And why do we always fall prey?
Well, because money talks. I'm sorry, but money talks. Everybody.
Are you insinuating that the Christian Association of Nigeria, that traditional rulers, are you insinuating that all of these groups, even the Babalawos that have gone to see the president, have been paid?
You did not hear it from my mouth. You can assume whatever you want to assume, Maryann. But the point is that allegedly money has changed hands. Wow. That is, see, let's not
even these people who've been addressing us, and the tiny protests that we've seen in Lagos too, these people, monies have exchanged hands.
So it might not necessarily all be about money. Let's not also deny the fact that the last protest we had was quite destructive.
There you go.
It was destructive.
There you go.
We saw buildings burnt.
Yes.
We saw police stations attacked.
How did it get to that point?
But also there's let's also not go with the government narrative or misinformation. I like to say things the way they are, that it was the genuine protesters who burnt all of that, who did all of that destruction. The videos are still out there. If you search the internet, you will still see the videos. You see people carrying cutlasses. I'm talking Lagos now. You see people carrying cutlasses. You see the people that were burning all of those BRO2 buses. They were not the people in Alausa for weeks.
Yeah.
They were not the people that were on Lekki toll gate here for weeks.
Yeah.
It was not those people that did those destructions.
Well, government will beg to differ.
I'm challenging government to show me the proof.
Lagos State government.
Any of them.
Yeah.
Both the federal government and state government, to show me the proof that it was the young guns who were at Lekki toll gate singing and dancing and carrying flags, or the guys who were at Alausa sleeping on mats, and that it was those people that did all that destruction. It wasn't. Let's be honest with ourselves. Now, the point is that politicians will always find way, because like I said, divide and rule works. So they will always find ways to infiltrate genuine protest, turn it into what it should not be. So I totally understand the clamor for tension to be doused, because we actually need the tension to be doused.
But what does this say about us as a people? The fact that these politicians are always capable of dividing us, does that mean that we're a greedy bunch of people and we're very selfish? So once we're catered to, we forget about everybody else? There's
greed, there's selfishness, there's tribal sentiments, there's what's it called, religious sentiments. As far as I'm concerned, all this while that this whole protesting has been going on, I've been telling myself that maybe to a large extent the protest would not necessarily materialize, or it will not work. And 2-3 days to the supposed day to see, let's not mince words. Let's not dispute the fact that possibly some persons, like the government have alleged, are sponsoring this protest to ensure that the government, gets a bad name. It could be true. It's possible. It's also possible that people are just tired of the way prices of goods and services have gone up since May 29th, that the president said subsidy has gone.
Is it just about that, or is it about the body language of government? I mean, because they say one thing and then we see them do something else. I mean, I don't think it's just about subsidy. Is it not just about how they go about it?
So it's a lot. It's a lot more than subsidy, but it's a combination of everything. It's frustrations. What you used to buy for 10,000 naira just about a year ago has tripled. It's 30,
more than doubled.
40. What you used to buy for 10 naira just about a year ago is now 30, 40 naira. And it affects everything from the egg you buy to milk to tea to gari.
Don't
to
even
beans,
get me started. I wanted to cook a tiny pot of Edikan Kong on the weekend. If I tell you how much, God,
let me also tell you that cooking is now banned in my house.
My dear, I went to buy goat meat. I wanted to fight with the goat meat seller.
I ain't cooking no more. In fact, I actually have ingredients to cook soup.
I will cook for you.
I was about to tell you that I remember that you're supposed to cook that soup.
But you pay me.
But that's on a lighter note. Point I'm trying to make is, after that soup is done, I would rather go to the nearest restaurant and buy food, because it seems that it's now a cheaper version. So Nigerians are frustrated. But guess what? If I would hazard a guess and say, if the government, and I'm talking federal and state, see, to a large extent, a lot of the heat is on the president, maybe deservedly so. But you see the state governors.
We always forget about them.
You see the state
they fly
governors.
under the radar.
You see the local government chairmen. All of them are part of this cycle. The president is getting a lot of the heat.
So let's not forget about that if we're protesting.
And deservedly so, he's getting the heat. He is the number one citizen. But the reason even the Ogun State governor that I barely hear him talk
with his bad roads.
I saw a video of him, asking people to calm down. But guess what? The reason people are frustrated is, in the same vein that you are saying we should tighten our belts, legislators are buying cars for themselves worth millions of naira.
So our local council chairman.
And a senator came on national TV and asked, so if we don't buy it, how are we going to drive on the bad roads? It's not a 7 state. The secretary of the APC was on national TV just a few days ago on Channels TV denying the data and stats from the MBS. That's a federal government agency. In fact, I can tell you for a fact that I personally think the MBS's data is even reduced. I think inflation is way more than 34.8%.
What are you saying?
We go to the market, we see it. Inflation is way up. Nigerians are looking at the body language of the people who are supposed to rule us. They are seeing them spend money.
Now you are right.
They're seeing the president budget for a yacht. They're seeing the president talk up and the National Assembly talk about
the plane in France.
About getting new jets. And what you want is every other month.
Sent us rice.
Hold on. I was about to say that. Every other 2-3 months, you send 24 bags of rice or 30 bags or 100 bags of rice.
I'm going to talk about the rice on the other side of the clock.
The truth of the matter is that Nigerians are frustrated. But yes, there also might be some opposition figures who possibly are in the background. There's that possibility. We can't rule it out.
But for every protest, there will always be people with different interests.
True.
It's normal.
When I hear the president or the senators, talking about it like it's one big deal, for the love of God, how did the president and the ruling party come to power?
Oh no, he's forgotten.
How did they come to power? They came to power on the back of protests.
He's forgotten.
So if you do the right things, Nigerians will not be angry. What makes me angry is when we bring this, my brother is in power now, so we should not be talking about it. And it was there even during Buhari.
But
it was there during
Buhari.
Why we're here. Because I remember that during the NSAS protest, the narrative was that Southerners want to overthrow a northern a government that had southern that narrative. And there is a Southwesterner in power. We're also bringing the narrative that it's some people from the come on. We're going to grow past all of that.
Really, you just took the question out of my mouth. Will we ever
Can I go and face my work?
Yes,
now? Because I'm getting agitated already.
I know you're tired and you're hungry.
No,
you
I'm
need
not
food.
hungry. I'm not hungry. I've
You need
eaten.
food. Oh, you've eaten.
I've eaten.
Without giving me food. Can you see this life? Lagos, will we ever get out of this quagmire that we found ourselves in? Let me read some messages on WhatsApp. I've got loads of messages on YouTube. I'm going to read them. Don't worry, I'm going to come to you. Someone here says, NNPC already issued a statement on the reasons behind the scarcity, hitch in discharge from vessels, which obviously wouldn't be an issue if functional refineries were working in Nigeria. Thank you. This one says, I am Shagun from Akirele in Ekpe. Please, people should stop comparing 2012 strike protest with this one. 2012 strike protest was organized by NLC and TUC, and it was for fuel increase. Who are the organizers of this protest? Really, all of a sudden, NLC, TUC. Might I remind you, you didn't give me your name, Shagun. Okay, great. Nuhu Ribadu, who is the now National Security Advisor, gave an interview saying that he knew, because he was one of the people in the forefront of that protest. Yeah, the NLC, TUC, yeah. He said that he knew it was purely political. He knew, but they went ahead with the protest. That same Nuhu Ribadu is in this government, and they're telling you not to protest because it might be hijacked. Do you remember that 2012 protest very well, vividly? I'll let you rethink. This one says, Mr. President should, for starters, ask the likes of Bayo Nanuga from his cabinet, as in AXE, ask him, if he wants to succeed. He should get technocrats, true patriots, and nationalists to help heal the wound in the hearts of Nigerians. Emeka from Satellite Town, thank you. This one says, Maryann, please understand that the Southwest is in a quagmire. It is not as if they are not also starving, but how can they protest against the second Yoruba man to ever enter Aso Rock since 1961? That's the dilemma they find themselves in. Besides Tinubu and Obasanjo, no Yoruba man has ever been called president, and that's why they're dragging their feet. I would have said that this was a good message, but so they'd rather die of hunger and the rot in the system continue because my brother is there. Maybe that's why Nigeria will never progress. Someone here says, your message is too long. Ben Praise. I'm going to read a bit of it. He says, Boko Haram infiltrating protest is politically meant to confuse and scare the populace. My response is, we're not moved. Why is the government scared and quick to assume that the nationwide protest will be hijacked? My question is, hijacked by who? Are they not supposed to be going against the supposed hijackers? 2, protest is slated for 1st of August. Why did government start their own protest 3 days before the main protest? And there was nothing like it would be hijacked. Why is Shetima and co speaking against the supposed diaspora supporters of the protest? Meanwhile, someone, I'm sure you mean privately supporting the okay. Ibn Praise, thank you for your message. It's really interesting how the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can spew so much hate to people in diaspora who have been contributing to the IGR of this country. They have literally been sending monies for the upkeep of their family members while you are in government and have not really done anything to raise the hopes of Nigerians. Now, all of a sudden, those people are idiots. They're this, they're bandits. Hello, Mr. Vice President. How dare you, sir? All these people do is try to help their family because their families in this country are dying of hunger and starvation and hardship. But all of a sudden, you're scrambling to look for who to accuse or point accusatory fingers. That's well and good, but don't call names. Don't call names. How dare you, sir? 1 minute it was Peter Obi, according to Bayo Nanuga. The next minute is those who lost elections. The next minute, Boko Haram might be there. And then now, it's Nigerians in diaspora. Can Nigerians really catch a break under this administration? And how it's so easy to say, well, the government inherited, but it was an APC to APC government. And you had a hand in that government coming into power. How come your wisdom and direction was not in any way on hand to help that government to be better? And now you're complaining to us? How are we supposed to help you solve the problem that your people created? These are the questions that Nigerians are asking. But if government is saying, well, don't protest, shelve it, we're doing something. What's the something? Can Nigerians touch, feel, see it? I'm coming to YouTube Live. Roland says, we're going there on the 1st. Samuel Ajira here on YouTube Live says, good afternoon, Maryann. How was your weekend? Are you aware that that protest has already begun in Niger State? This intimidation will not stop the protest. Okay, Samuel, I do know about that. Alexander here says, God bless Niger State if truly they have started already. Badger Robert says, I like the maturity and objectivity of Mr. Peter Obi in his political voyage. Another person here says, the food that they are sharing, are they sharing the food with their party members or the food to the poor masses? John Bernard says, let the protest go on. Another John here says, over support, they worry me for this protest. John from Ijesha. All right, if you're watching us live on YouTube and you're watching us live on Facebook Live, post your comments. We would like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this protest brouhaha? Many will say, I don't want to go out and protest. Genuinely, a lady that I buy my hair from, who's got a shop somewhere on TF Kuboye, I think they call it Wholesale Niger, was saying that during the NSAS protest, her shop was broken into, all her wares taken, and she suffered. And so she's skeptical about saying, let's protest. But she's also in the same breath saying, shall we do it devoid of, raiding people's shops? Because we, the people, are not the problem. If we're protesting hardship, then our anger and our questions, our queries should be directed at those in power, your governors, your local government chairman, your councillors, your House of Assembly members, your House of Rep members, the senators who have been sending prayers to their bank accounts and now have gone on a 7-week recess, not the simple Nigerian like you who's trying to get by. So if we must protest, can we do it devoid of rancor and all of the brouhaha that normally takes place? And can we get our security operatives to concentrate on keeping the peace as opposed to intimidation? Habib rather is calling us via Skype. Hello, Habib. Go ahead.
Hello?
Habib, can you turn off the Skype or the YouTube so that I can hear you better?
How is it now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah. So my name is Habib, calling from England.
Go ahead.
Right. So the protest. I mean, for me, I'm indifferent about it. I think we were so mentally distracted that sort of also affected. And when I say this, I mean it collectively, and it affects our level of intellectual thinking, like how deeply we think. Because, for example, in the case of the responses people have, given to the actor who was, basically just passing or saying whatever he said about Peter Obi's posture, which is, what I would use now, expected that such conversation should happen, healthy debate, healthy disagreement, and then because people tend to be carried away because they support one politician or one thing, and then they just attack everybody who disagrees with who they support. For me, it just boils down to our level of intellectuality as a people, because rather than focus on having very important conversations as a country of where we are headed, we are distracted by protest or no protest. For example,
so you think that protesting the hardship and hunger in Nigeria is irrelevant? We're supposed to be talking about where we're going. How are we going to where we're going? Dead or alive?
Good question. Now, part of the problem is
in 10 seconds, because I need to take other calls. 10 seconds.
There are those amongst us who feel like 1 year is not enough time to complain about what this government has done. And those are part of the people that will still go and join the protest. Let's start from there. Why do we think that 365 days for someone who is in power, who has access to all the resources you can think of as the president of a country, 365 days is not enough for you to show some sort of result? If we can start the conversation from there, then we can move on from there.
All right. Thank you very much, Habib, for calling. I do appreciate it. He's calling us from England. Let me read some more messages that are coming in because I have very little time now. I want to go to our Facebook Live. Iyanda Mudin Olaide here says, I support the protest 100%. Femi Dada says, no going back. 1st of August. I'm tired. The government is not ready to do anything. Protest all the way. Femi Dada here says, you're doing a great job. Okay, thank you. Obviously, that's too formal. All right, thank you very much for your comment. Let me read a few more messages, okay, because we have to go. On X, I've got some messages here. Someone here says, is this not a protest going on live in Lagos? Everyone should be arrested for trying to cause anarchy in Nigeria by protesting. In fact, Nigeria should tell Nigerians that protest has been banned. Are we not joking? But it's very interesting how a group of 2 young men were, I think I watched on channels, were arrested by police officers for carrying placards and saying, end bad governance or end hunger. They were not disturbing the peace. They were just peacefully holding the placards. But police officers arrested them, and I heard they were taking them to police headquarters in Ikeja. Is there a subtle order that people should be arrested? Anyone trying to protest should be arrested? Is there a circular that has been sent quietly that people should not peacefully protest? Because if we're talking about peaceful protest and people are doing it peacefully, you're already arresting them. What exactly is the plan of government and the Nigeria police? That's a big question that needs to be answered. All right, still reading your tweets. Joy Forever here says, it will be good for Boko Haram boys to join in. At least police can arrest them en masse. Protests should be peaceful. What is the cause of the endless fuel queues? Nigerians are really frustrated because the cost of living has skyrocketed and people are tired and hopeless. And Safiano from Kanu here says, with the way things are happening in Nigeria, it's very possible the protest is likely to be hijacked. Well, Yvonne Haifo is here with the news at the top of the hour. When we come back on the other side of the clock, I want to play you something about the rice that they sent to you and other matters arising leading up to the protest.
We bring it all on the table, as plain as it can be.
For conversations you want to get involved with.
And the ones you shouldn't.
No holds barred.
Only on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Information is all you need.
And that's all that matters.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.